Welcome back to Self-Hypnosis for Healing. I'm Elizabeth Catherine, and today we are back on money again with an episode duo called Limiting Beliefs and Money. So I hope I didn't throw too many people off by putting out 2 episodes the week before last and then skipping last Monday. I just woke up that Wednesday morning and thought, I think there's a lot of people out there that are going to need some soothing, calming self-hypnosis. So I thought it would be best to put out that episode a day early or 5 days early. But if you missed either of those 2 episodes because of that, make sure you go back and check them out. One is called Being Kind to Yourself and the other is called The Soother. Both are really great episodes, really good for your own self-love and self-improvement. So check them out if you missed them, and sorry if I confused anybody. A couple things before we get started. I am fully opening back up my private sessions. I'm only going to be doing 1 a week at the most, but if you're interested in a private session with me, check it out. It's on my website, elizabethcatherine.com, and contact me if you're interested. Also, thank you to everybody who's been sharing this podcast and helping spread the love and growth that we've been sharing here. I really, truly appreciate it. So if you have an inkling to share, or if you're talking to somebody and you're like, oh, you know what? I think you would love this. Please do share and keep sharing. It's the number one way that this podcast is growing. So please do keep on sharing. Thank you. So, limiting beliefs and money. This is a continuation from the episode Money is Love. So if you haven't listened to that yet, go back and listen to that at some point if this is something that you want to work on. And actually, I would listen to it, then do this one, and then listen to it again and see if anything's changed in your beliefs around money and money is love. See how it feels like maybe it won't feel quite as resistant, or you might be able to accept the idea of money as love a little bit more readily after you've let go of some of your own limiting beliefs on money. But I do think it's also a good precursor, so I would listen to it first if you really want to dig in on money. But of course, it's your own journey, so if this is the one you choose to do first, more power to you. You know yourself better than I do, considering I probably don't know you at all. So when we're talking about our limiting beliefs and how they work physically in our brain, what's going on is your brain is forming connections according to what you're telling it is important. That is important. So if you keep thinking things like, people with money are all jerks, and you keep saying that over and over to yourself, people with money are all jerks, your brain is forming that neural connection according to what you're telling it. So you're literally telling yourself what to believe. This is such an easy fix. Just start telling your brain to believe different things, and eventually it will believe you. When you're sleeping, your brain goes through sort of a weeding out of what it deems important and what it doesn't deem important. And the things that it deems important are things that you spend your time thinking about. So if you spend your time thinking about how much people with money are jerks, your brain is going to keep that neural connection strong and secure and not weed it out because you're telling it to. So in order to rewire our beliefs and reframe our thinking, all we have to do is tell our brains what we choose to be important to ourselves. All we have to do is tell our brains what it is that we choose, that we want to have in our lives. What beliefs do we want to keep in our lives? You can literally curate the landscape of your own brain only by using your thoughts. Tell me how this is not the most magical thing you could ever do. You can literally change your reality just by changing your thoughts. We have so much power in our minds to change our reality. It's insane that we don't intentionally use that power every day. Every minute of your life, every waking minute, every sleeping minute should be used to create your life according to how you want to see it turn out. So any beliefs that don't serve you, and here we're specifically talking about any beliefs that don't serve you financially, need to be rewritten. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to create new neural pathways in our brains by focusing on what it is that we want to have in our lives. So the way you make new neural pathways is, and this is like legitimate science, it's not woo-woo stuff. This is just how your brain works. Step one, I mean, these actually don't have to go in steps. But number one is action. So taking actions that align with your new belief. If you would like to change the belief that people with money are all jerks, take action that goes along with that. Be kinder to people that you see as having money and start to understand them in a different way. Allow yourself to indulge in something that you would think is maybe beneath you to indulge in. And then the next step, it would be thought. Change your thought. Catch yourself when you think negative things about other people with money. This is just the example we're using right now. It might not be your example, so just roll with it. So we're going to write affirmations. I love to take a negative thought and opposite it and write an affirmation that is going to rewire your brain. And take moments to think about the change that you want to make. Think about how it would feel. Start to really create that picture in your mind of what your life looks like once that change has taken place. And we'll do that in the session as well. But I want you to do it in your waking life also. Okay, so find moments to focus, think about it. And then the third piece of the puzzle is review and contemplation. Take moments to let it simmer, to sort of stew in that feeling of the change that you're creating. So if you're changing a belief that people with money are all jerks, the opposite of that would be, and it depends on where you're coming at with your negative thought, but maybe something like, I can maintain my sense of self while growing financially. Start to create a picture of what that would look like. And then really with the thought process, you're creating really the feeling, the thoughts, the ideas, the feeling. And then in the review and contemplation, which is really where the magic happens, you're letting that feeling soak in, become a part of you. You're simmering in that feeling, you're dwelling in it and just enjoying the feeling of what that feels like to understand that you can have a lot of money and maintain your sense of self and goodness. And this goes with our hypnotherapy practice as well. So when we're in the practice, we're really going to just simmer in that feeling of what that belief change, whatever it is that you're going to change, what that belief change feels like, and really just enjoy it and allow that change to take place within us, that belief change. And that's what we're going to do in the session is we're going to, I love to make you write down your thoughts and make little lists. So I think we're just going to work on 2 beliefs because these money beliefs can be really deeply rooted and I want you to really nail them. So even if you have to do this 7 or 8 different times with different beliefs, I just want you to do 2 for now because I want you to really focus and be able to remember what they were and really dig in and really get to the root of these feelings. So I'm going to have you come up with 2 limiting beliefs and write them down. And then I want you to write the opposite affirmation. And that affirmation should be short because you're going to want to recall it during the hypnosis. I don't want it to be tricky for you to recall since we're doing 2. So pick 2 limited beliefs, and then write down the affirmation that is the opposite of that belief. Don't forget our affirmation writing principles, which are: keep it positive. Don't say no, never, not, don't. None of those negative words, because your subconscious really isn't paying attention to that negative. If you are going to write an affirmation that says, I am not poor, you're actually conjuring an image for yourself of you being poor instead of an image of yourself being wealthy. So if you say, I am wealthy, then you're conjuring only the image of yourself being wealthy. That, and keep it short, keep it simple. Make the affirmation something that you believe you can achieve. If something feels like it's too far of a reach for you to really believe, your subconscious is going to have too hard of a time latching onto that. So meet yourself in the middle. Okay, so let's go back to the example of all people with money are jerks. Maybe you can't imagine quite getting all the way to the point where I can be wealthy and still maintain a sense of self. Maybe your affirmation might look something more like, I can be wealthy and watch my behavior. Maybe you need to meet yourself somewhere in the middle. And then work up to the complete belief change. So just make sure it's something that you believe you can achieve. And then after the session, make sure that you're allowing these feelings that you're creating in the session and that you're experiencing during the session to swell back up at different times. So you're doing the dishes or something repetitive or taking a walk. You're just sort of simmering in that feeling. You don't have to think hard about it. You just have to conjure that feeling and enjoy it for a little while. And using your thoughts, and if you see places where you can take action to strengthen the belief change, take action. Repeat your affirmation like it's a mantra, and just remind yourself that this is the thing that you're working on right now. I like to also make sure that you're not working on too many belief changes at once. 1 or 2 is plenty. And if you're focused on really one belief change at a time, it really can go very quickly. So don't try to do belief change and diet change, and don't try to throw it all on at once, because then you're just going to burn out and you're going to be too scattered. Focus on one belief change at a time. So if you're working on money, make it your focus. Just keep all of your focus on financial security, financial growth, whatever it is that you're working toward when it comes to releasing those limiting beliefs about money and creating a healthy relationship with your finances. So some examples of limiting beliefs around money could be things like I said before, people with money are all jerks. That's one that a lot of people have, which is why I went to that reference. And yeah, some people with money out there really are big jerks, but there's plenty of people with money who are out there just trying to do something good with their lives. And I think that many of you would just be fine millionaires. You guys would just be so good at it because you are wonderful people out there trying to grow and become better and change. So that one for sure we can get out of there. Some people are born into families that have struggled, and they have a mentality that they're always going to struggle. Get rid of that. That one's no good. No bueno. Or sometimes maybe we have a belief that if we're making money doing something we love, we're like a fraud or something. Especially a lot of us that are in the healing arts or the spirituality realm of things. Because there are, again, people out there that will take advantage. So, these beliefs are rooted in reality, but they don't have to be your reality. If you're helping people and making money at the same time, that's 2 good things. We don't have to, as long as you're being moral about what you're doing, there's no problem in it. You aren't the person that was immoral that did that. And sometimes a limiting belief can just be a fear, you know. You move into a bigger house, you have more expenses. Maybe you're afraid you can't keep supporting this, or maybe you're afraid you're going to lose your job, or maybe you're afraid your business is going to tank. You know, so these are all things that you can write an affirmation for and change limiting beliefs about. And this is by no means like all of them, obviously. So take some real solid time to come up with what your limiting belief that you want to rewrite is. And write down as many as you can. You don't have to tackle them all today, but write all your limiting beliefs about money down. And then slowly, 1 week at a time, work through them. And as soon as one belief feels settled, move on to the next. And then just keep revisiting, making sure your affirmations are still feeling true and strong. And I think you're going to start to see a lot of change when it comes to your finances if you do this. This is something that I've been doing for, since my daughter was little, so I guess 8 years. I read Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer. I've mentioned it before. It's absolutely a life-changing book when it comes to changing your beliefs and the possibilities of how that could work. And ever since then, I've weaved this into my life, creating positive beliefs about money, and we've seen a huge change for ourselves. But it's a work in progress. We have to constantly maintain this beautiful garden of belief. I think that you guys will see a lot of positive change if you just keep at it and stay positive about your finances. And that's all for this week. So the session will play right after this in the next episode. So that's it. Much love to you all, and I hope you all have a great week and have lots of success and lots of money. And there'll be more money episodes coming in the months to follow. Okay, have a good week. Bye.